What's going on, folks? How you feeling out there? I want to address pretty much the media. That's what I want to do, you know. Because I'm getting sick and tired of the media highlighting so much of the negative shit in the black community, really not giving us positive folks opportunities, you know, like people probably look at my video before they even fucking hear me talk and be like, oh, this is probably just some nigger who just want to say some gangbang and whatever the fuck, whatever comes to their mind or whatnot. And it really pisses me off, man, because every time I see something about the black community on these internet, you know, on these websites, it's always negative, you know. Of course, it was a big brawl that happened in a courthouse down in Decatur, Georgia. Family versus family. One person got killed, and the defendant's family was in a courtroom, and you know, bam, you can pretty much figure out how that escalated. You know, one family walked by, the victim's family get mad, bam, start fighting, people get hurt, people get locked up. You know, first of all, I want to say that's a tough situation right there because emotions flare. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna sit here and try to shit on nobody because you never know. If something happened to a close relative of yours, you might lose your mind and snap. You know, that's any race. That ain't just the black race. I just don't like the fact that the media highlight that shit. You know, I haven't yet to see anything positive come from the black community. Like, you know, they talk about rappers and how much negativity, you know, they impacted. Like, the kids look up and they want to sag their jeans, get golds, and do all this other shit, smack bitches and all that, right? But they don't never glorify the fact that a lot of these rappers who come from the hood, you know, around Thanksgiving and Christmas, they give turkeys back, they buy kids gifts, they do a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not finna sit here and say, you know, we all doing the best. You know, when I say we, the black community, we're doing the best that we could be doing because it's a lot of fucked up apples, you know, in our fruit basket. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the whole black community ain't like that. And it fucking bothers me to keep seeing that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we know it's fucked up black people out here just as much as it's fucked up, you know, Mexicans, whites, Asians, Russians, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know, I'm sorry I'm cursing so much. It's just that I'm in a laid back mood seeing this article and it's just like, what the fuck? Every time. You know, it never fails. I don't ever see court brawls of, you know, like an Asian family going at it or a white family going at it. You know what I'm saying? Not to say I want to see that. I don't at all. But it's like, man, they glorify so much of the negativity, you know, in our race. It affects people like me who really not a part of none of that. You know what I'm saying? It makes people stereotype me and look at me different. You know, and to all my black people out there that you know, that don't think outside of the box and feel you gotta live this way you do, you really don't. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is put your thinking cap on, stay motivated, you know what I'm saying, and don't let nobody tell you what you can and cannot be. And it's a lot of goals you can achieve, you know what I'm saying, outside of rapping or basketball or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Won't you take your first talent, which might be rapping, you know what I'm saying, because it's thick in the hood or basketball or whatever, and make that your second priority. You know what I'm saying? That's a gift you got already. You know, capture a different goal. You know what I'm saying? Go try to be a doctor or a lawyer or something. You know what I'm saying? Don't just settle for what you good at, you know? I mean, because take me for example. You know, I know this is a long video, but I just feel like venting right now. Take me for example. You know, like comedy is my first love. That's what I started out, you know, doing. Like I actually started playing basketball. If you must want to know the truth about me, you know what I'm saying? Things happened. Stopped playing basketball. Found comedy. Comedy's been my first love, you know, and then comedy introduced me to YouTube, you know, and, you know, one thing led to another, and look at me now on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? This was never no lifelong goal or nothing like that. I try to be an influence for everybody, not just the black race, but, you know, I really try to reach out to the black race because it's like, you know, I grew up in the hood and I know how some of you guys feel, you know what I'm saying? It's not really like that, you know, everybody is not against you. So you don't have to act a certain way. You might see certain shit, like I seen that video on the internet, but me knowing a lot of white people and all this other shit and, you know, all these other races, I know that it's a lot of people who will help you. You know what I'm saying? But it's some people with higher powers who just want to keep the stereotype going, make us be against each other. And what I mean, us racists, like, you know, white people like, oh, well, poor people, I don't want to be around those people. You know, rich people, I don't want to be around those people. You know what I'm saying? Make it sum all this shit up because I kind of just went everywhere with this, but it's just like right now I'm in a venting mood. You know what I'm saying? End of the day, folks, make better decisions. That's what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand it's always somebody to try to knock you down. You know what I'm saying? You know how they talk about trolls on YouTube and all that? The media is basically like trolls. They want you to fuck up so they can have something to talk about and say, I told you so. And that goes for whoever. You know what I'm saying? If you're a criminal, you got your justice system. Some people in the justice system want you to fuck up so you can go back to the cage. You know, if they could set you in there for life for some of the situations, petty situations, they would. You know what I'm saying? So be your own person, think, you know, and beat them by thinking. Knowledge is power. If you want things, I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you're in a mess up situation and you put your thinking cap on, you know what I'm saying? You already ahead of the person who want to see you fail. Because they don't think that you're going to think. You see what I'm saying? Does that kind of make sense to you guys? You know, a thinker, somebody who's stereotyping you, all right? And you thinking on it, you already won that battle because they think you might rob them, you know, punch them, rape them, steal a car or whatever. You thinking like, they probably think I'm going to do this, or thinking about something positive. You know, you beat them because they sitting there like, for real. I know you've been in those situations. I've had people come up to me when I had cornrows, you know, and they get to know me like, man, I thought you was this type of way. See, you know, stop stereotyping. But I'm going to get out of here and let you guys enjoy the rest of you guys this weekend. Have a great one. Until next time, deuces. Oh, you know, question of the video. You know what I'm saying? How much do you think, you know, on a positive scale, you know, that's for everybody out there. How much, you know, how much positive thoughts run in your mind versus the negatives? You know what I'm saying? And I ask you that question, reason being, is because the more you think positive things happen. The more you think negative, the negative things happen. You know what I'm saying? So try that. You know, I'm out.